Hi everyone, it's Leanne from Jaded Blossom, and it's time for another challenge over at the Jaded Blossom blog. This is all about silver and gold. So hi there. So I am using Jaded Blossom's poinsettia die, the small poinsettia die. And I'm also using the bread tag dies. So I'm making a super quick and easy tag with all dies today. I'm also using the American Crafts Christmas foil pad and the Recollections Glisten and Glow pad, just the 6-inch pads. And I'm also using cardstock from Cut Cardstock. It is the Savannah Wood Grain in Limba. And I'm also using the glitter cardstocks in gold and silver. And I think those might be from Close to My Heart, but don't quote me. And I'm using Gina K's Connect glue. So you see I cut my bread tag die out of the wood grain paper, the Savannah wood grain paper from Cuts Cardstock. And I cut the layer, that black paper with the foiled little dots, from the Recollections Glisten and Glow. And I use the layering tag for the bread tag. I love this bread tag die. It's super cute. You can, use it just as a tag on a gift or clip it around like a cellophane basket, something like that. Super fun. Now, this is my little tip. If something's not glued down, I just put some glue on a scrap piece of paper and put it under the corner that I want glued down and stick it down. So now these are all of my dies that I cut with, foil and glitter cardstock alternating. And I always use my Gemini to cut all my dies because, that machine cuts everything like butter. It's fabulous. So now I'm just going to layer up these poinsettia dies with my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. Now you can use any dimensional. I just like these ones. Those are my EK Success tweezers just to get my fingers out of the way. And I'm just layering it up. Super easy. The nice thing about a tag is that you can make it as, dimensional as you want. It's not like a card where, you've got to jam it in an envelope after and, it gets flattened a little bit. So you got to be really careful about the dimension. You can use like little bits of foam and pop things up and, have a heyday. So now I'm adding the center of this poinsettia with the Gina K Connect glue, which is an awesome glue. There we go. I'm just popping that in. I love these poinsettia dies from Jaded Blossom. A lot of times I'll pull out both sizes because I like all the curly cues and stuff that come with the large one. And then when I'm putting a small one on something, I just use the small dies, but I pull out all the additional stuff from the large one just to give it a little oomph, So now I'm adding my poinsettia to the bottom right-hand corner of this tag. And I love, love, love how it looks. Like, this is a gold and silver challenge, obviously. But I really like using the foil and the glitter together. It just really adds something, I think. So, keep that in mind the next time you're crafting. And you want to, Vegas it up a bit, eh? So now I'm adding glue and I'm just tucking in my leaves. I cut the leaves out of silver foil, and you'll notice that I'm kind of zhuzhing them up. That's a Laura Basson word. I love her videos. And I don't usually do it to cards too much because they get flattened quite a bit. But tags, you can zhuzh to your heart's content. Really, curl up your leaves, add a little dimension that way. It just makes it look so beautiful. And as you see, it doesn't really take much, and you really get some dimension on your tag, which is nice. So now, are you getting ready for Christmas? I keep saying that to everybody. Are you ready? I still have some things going on. So, I'm getting there though. I'm getting there. So, and I'm not sure what the rules are in where you're watching from. We've got quite a few cases here in Thunder Bay now. Not compared to a lot of large cities. Really, it's not that many. But, any is too many. So, we just had our second death, actually, third death, which is just god-awful terrible. You just hurt for all the families involved. So there we go. So I'm just adding all my little curly cues. And you'll notice that I add them to the different layers of the flower because that also gives them a little bit of dimension, which is fun. It's always hard to get pictures. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time taking pictures of foils and glitter. I don't know what it is. I don't know. My camera goes crazy. So it just never looks as pretty as it does in real life. But trust me, this looks so pretty. It's so dimensional and so glittery and it's beautiful. And you gotta love Jaded Blossom dies for this kind of stuff. They cut like butter. Get yourself a die machine and you can really make some gorgeous stuff. There we go. So I toyed with the idea of leaving it at this. It's beautiful, simple. I thought, do I want a stamp on there? But, I end up pulling out another die set because, why not, right? So I'm pulling out my Christmas dies and I'm using the word Merry. And I cut it out of the gold foil, sorry. And I'm just popping it out of the die holder or out of the die itself with my EK6X tweezers. And I'm going to add some glue and add that to my tag. And that's it. It's going to be a purely die-driven tag, which is kind of fun. So here's where I make my little mistake. I'm adding a little bit of glue. That's on the back of a Post-it note. I thought it would be good. It would hold it in place as I'm adding the glue, but then, you'll see when I pull it off. I always make things difficult for myself, right? So I'm just adding a little bit of glue, different places. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you kind of want it to stick down, right? You don't want it to be all sticking up at funny angles. And here we go. Of course, it stuck to the Post-it. And what happened? It stretches out a little bit. Now, it's not a big problem. It just makes it more difficult to put it back on the tag. So it's, so it's straight like it's meant to be. So I just have to kind of, as I always say, fart around with it a little bit here, get it where I want it. And you'll see how the tail of that Y is kind of buried under that, the leaf of the poinsettia. So I just moved the leaf over a little bit. It hasn't glued down completely yet. So it's easy to move it out of the way. And I think it looks pretty. It turned out really pretty in the long run. There we go. So you'll notice I moved that leaf over just a little bit. Now I'm going to be adding some of my favorite, my Nuvo Crystal Drops in Simply White. And all I do is I'm just going to make a little dab on each of the little circles for this center, just to give it a little dimension and a little interest, So I'm going to add the 5 little drops around the corners, and then I'll add one in the center just for fun. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And it brings in the white from the tag, which is nice. I notice there's a little bubble in that one, so I just popped the bubble. There we go. So I'll add a few more. I'm just going to, put a few more little drips around on my tag just for, like I said, interest and fun. Might as well, right? And I didn't want to bring in any, I thought about sequins, but I thought, we've got enough glittering on this tag, so we don't really need that. But, so pretty. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to go over to the Jaded Blossom blog and maybe play along. There's lots of inspiration for this challenge. And it's, how easy is it? Silver and gold, something for Christmas. You could easily make something like that. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. Remember to come by tomorrow because our December release is happening starting tomorrow. Lots of awesome stuff in this release. Thank you, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.